Good evening, one and all. It is Wednesday, it's the middle of the week, and it's time that we jump into some more. A good old Warframe. And of course it is a old Warframe we are looking at today. For the third time, yes, but this time all of the digging has been done, all of the planning, all of the preparation, as it were. All of the bits and pieces have finally brought themselves together. It only took you, a week crafting time. But I'm sure you will appreciate the returns we have. But welcome in, everyone. Hope you're doing well. We are around the world today. I will be going over the various bits of Equinox and just messing around with them today, just to make sure everything feels like it's in the right place indeed in a live environment. I intend to have the video out, if not tomorrow, hopefully by the end of the week. So y'all can dive into all of that juicy goodness in one simple go. But yes, welcome everyone. Excuse me. Now, I know I put in the stream title today, witness the fully operational Equinox Hexabuild. Simply to put it, there are 6 loadouts on this Warframe, 6 different builds it can utilize. It's not 6 builds at the same time, it is 6 different builds, but going with sextuple builds in the title is likely to get the wrong type of people finding us if they're searching, various keywords. We don't want that. We don't want that. Does the Equinox make enemies do 5 times damage? I mean, you can make Equinox do that. As we demonstrated on stream previously, doing so is near enough useless because the majority of people are actually good enough at the game that it doesn't actually matter. It's the unfortunate truth of it. If you go somewhere where the amount of damage that creates is actually problematic, you'll probably die first, whilst everyone else just looks at you going, bro, where's your tank? So you can do it, it just, doesn't work too great. It's a shame. There is one use case, however, I have come across, which may pan out, but I'll be honest, it's not what I'm going to focus on. And that is the single best use of enemy damage as a tool in the entire game. That is Octavia. Octavia loves having enemies firing as much damage as they can in onto her mallet. And so if that damage happens to be increased by up to 5-fold, well, that's just all the more damage to reflect, isn't it? So an Equinox Octavia pair could well be the way to really make that ability sing. Which, I mean, that's, Oh yeah, this is an Equinox skin. This is not a normal Equinox Prime. Equinox Prime looks a little more like that normally. A little more like that. Which also looks good, honestly, yeah. But then there's also this, which is kind of slightly creepy, honestly, with all the doodads on it. Little tentacly bits here and there. It's something's going on. We're not sure exactly what, and I'm not sure what exactly happened with my cup of tea today, I'll be honest. I brewed it just like I brew every single cup of tea I brew for myself. I know how to make my tea. I've been doing it for the vast majority of my life. But this one's pale. I got a faulty tea bag. That's all I can say, honestly. I got a faulty tea bag. Oh yeah, that's a faulty tea bag. Darn. Oh well, it happens. I'll have my mug of hot water. What's my tea preference? I go for an English breakfast tea, brew it for a good few minutes, at least 3, but usually 5 or so minutes, and then with a nice splash of milk, no sugar needed. You didn't know tea bags could be faulty? Not so much faulty as in, like, not like a glitching computer, more along the lines of, wow, this tea really just did not want to brew, did it? Sometimes you just get a dud one. Very uncommon. Honestly, very uncommon, but sometimes you do just get one that just, whatever reason, refuse to brew. It do that. Ever had rooibos tea? No, I haven't. Probably is given by how I no doubt butchered that. There's too many vowels in a row. What is that? I've tried various types of tea, and certainly Green tea enthusiasts love telling me about how great green teas are. Various herbal teas and flavored teas and fruit teas and anything that's not the tea that I like and enjoy. But I like and enjoy my tea. It is nice. I just stick with that. Okay, so Equinox, let's have a look at build number 1. You'll notice I've given them all some interesting names as well now. No duality anywhere through all of this. We don't need that. No, 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 no. That was a good pronunciation? Oh, well, there we are then. So, gated transfer. All of the names here are actually pretty self-explanatory as to what they do, if you know what's going on. If you don't know what's going on, it can be a little bit confusing, but that's fine. A gated transfer is indeed using energy transfer. The idea is to switch between forms so that we can get the full benefit out of Equinox's abilities, or at least as much as the full benefit you can get given how she's set up. I have my reservations on that. But the ultra big takeaway here is that it's a gated build, that is shield gate. The idea is to sit in the knight form as much as possible, to utilize the shields we get on kill. It's only... excuse me, sorry. I'm going to try and clear that. There we are. It's only 10 shields on kill, but 10 shields is still enough to recharge a shield gate. You just need an amount of shields, so that'll do the trick. In terms of the overall setup then, the maximized range is to get maximum value out of main when we switch with energy transfer. Because, yeah, you want to hit hard and then get back into the defensive mode. Overall, a common thing I've done with a lot of these Equinox setups is maximize the efficiency, because Equinox has no energy economy. Nothing. This passive doesn't exist. Even if it did exist, which it doesn't, it would do nothing. So it doesn't exist. I will be taking no notes on that. It doesn't exist. So, with that in mind, let's put the testing Tenora away. Tenora is such a great weapon for testing, by the way. Alright, Bill Abe, we'll catch you around. That aside, let's give this a whirl, shall we? Now, this one is indeed all about putting out those nukes as much as we can. Let's pop an oak companion. And let's... honestly, we can leave the companion set to shoot stuff as well. Now, I know Sim Deconstruct could generate into health orbs, and health orbs could generate energy through equilibrium. Not even counting the non-existent passive. But that's not the focus. We can't rely on that because the majority of our kills will not be close quarters. I am currently set to Madurai, and you know, honestly, we'll stick with that. Madurai works. Madurai works. Before we do get diving into that, I am going to demonstrate one bit of a rant thing that I have confirmed, or at least as good as I can confirm. Something where I have to wonder, why, oh why did he do this? I don't know how long ago they did it, but they did it. And this will probably flummox y'all in just the same way it's flummoxed me. So, I have on this Equinox here 2 casting speed shards, plus 25% on both of them, so that's plus 50% casting speed. That's a nice thing to have. It's basically fire rate for casters, and certainly the squishier the caster, the faster you want your casting to be. We're all familiar with how that works, right? If you cast an ability, this makes you cast it faster. The animation runs faster. So, pop quiz. How long does it take to transform using Metamorphosis? Oh, you can see it there. I'm going to spam the Metamorphosis key so you can see when the switch allows us to do something else again. You can see there is that switching delay as it just kind of happens. So that appears to be our casting speed, right? But if I now use this to just improve my casting speed by another 50%, watch how much it's changed. You notice how much it's changed? The answer is it hasn't. I'm going to keep on casting it right the way through the end of the power buff. And you'll see nothing has changed. The buff expired, nothing changed. And if you pay careful attention to the first ability slot on the bar at the bottom there, That's what, that side, I think? Yep, yeah, that side. You pay very careful attention to that, you'll notice something that doesn't usually happen with just cast and done abilities. It has a timer. When I cast it, it creates a 1 second timer. So we're not experiencing a casting animation that is limiting us from casting it again or doing something else. We're experiencing an ability duration that is fixed and locked in. Why? When Equinox's entire theme is switching, they managed to make the switch sticky. It's just... It's a locked in second. You can't bypass that. Of all the things I found going through this, that's the one that really stands out to me. It's just, that wasn't even necessary. It's not even a 1 second ability, it has a duration, so why is there a 1 second fixed ability duration? Just locking it in. Then Warframe could be code safety? But it needs a whole second for code? I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it. So, whatever the reasons are, it's another sticking point on a frame that really doesn't need sticking points. Excuse me. But it's what we got. It is what we got. Anyway, so, let's take this for a while. The idea, as I say, is to start on night mode, focus on that, switch over to day mode only when it's time to explode, and roll it out from there. So with that in mind, where should we take this one, chat? Where should we take a occasional explosion solo Equinox? Where do you think would be a good place to go for that? Have your input. I know that the Grenier are not particularly great for those explosions. You do have to get quite a few kills racked up to make it a lethal explosion there. Fleeman saying Lure? We could go on over to Lure. Let's see. Oh, hello, Cat Centaur.
1.25 years so far.
Yep. Yep, that is definitely the way of saying 15 months. You managed to get an extra digit into that. Absolutely. Thank you very much for continued support there, Cat Centaur. Much appreciated for dropping your Prime here once again. From only there's a delay on your switch of weapons in the circuit. I haven't seen before. Wouldn't be surprised. Technical debt is building up. Maybe. Let's see, just saying Exterminate sounds good. Survival Murmur from Ricochet. Void, just the entire Void from Friendly Fire Machine. Scout Survival from Hans Boomskis. Okay, we've got a few different locations we'd like to see Equinox at. Let's indeed go with a Lure Exterminate, as that was the combined first request there. So Crossfire Exterminate, Steel Path, we've got Corpus, we've got Grenier, we'll even have a couple Sentient show up. That should be an interesting starting point, wouldn't it? So, with the way this build works, it is a combination of Shieldgate Survival and also having access to sleeping enemies with Arrest. The third ability basically is useless. We don't need it, we don't want it. I would say subsume it out, but I'm keeping it not subsumed for the video's sake. Ah yes, enemies falling over. A teeny tiny little bit of a problem when it comes to aiming for headshots, because if you miss, now the head is on the ground and unreachable. You can see we can do this, and then we just kind of go over here, it looks good. Bam. Okay, well that one had a little bit too much armor, didn't he? What, is there one down here? What? Oh, hi there. You spawned in the wrong spot. Perish. Now, you see, I can let my companion deal damage here just fine, because it's also contributing to the build-up of power. So it doesn't matter if I do it, or if my companion does it, or if a teammate does it, as long as it happens in the aura, it counts. So it's a very defensive setup we got going on here. And that is nice. Oh god, the enemies are spawning behind me. This damn map. This particular mission just does this. Anyway, let's switch and bang. And then you see that awkwardness of just the time delay on switching to and fro. Yeah, mate, don't jetpack indoors. That's not cool. Not allowed. Oh, we got an Xmas. We no longer have an Xmas. Wait. Oh, rare room. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. We don't usually see this one. Let me just get rid of the enemies which are around here, because they will be in the way whilst I try to do the rare room. And for those of you unaware, this is indeed not a common one to come across, but it is for one of the drift mods. Just put those... Oh my god, they're literally just spawning in front of me. Hold on, let's nuke. There we go. So, the way we do this is we start here. Stand on the plate. Wait. Go! Make your way across that, make your way across that, don't get stuck on that. And there we go. Shoot that. That's halfway done. Now let's put these lots to sleep. Just clean out the room a moment, don't mind me. Oh, hello. Yeah, no, we're good. And now we do the other side. Again, stand on the pressure plate. Wait for it. Go! Don't want to be on the ground for this, because you will get knocked over, and that's annoying. There we are. Pop that. And now, having done both of those challenges, this here in the middle opens up for us to head on through. This is going to cost me my channeled 1.5 million damage, so I'm going to switch form and just see if I can kill anything with it. Apparently not. Ta-da! And there is our mod. Speed Drift. Let's see, how much is that going for these days? I don't think it's going to be like an amazing amount, but... Ooh, under attack. We can still have a look. Speed Drift. Oh, wow. 19 platinum. 19 plat. That's nice. Impressed I managed to complete it? Oh, come on. It's an easy one. It's just rare to spawn. Alright, let's deal with this guy. Let's switch to this form. Activate this. And he's probably going to deactivate stuff, which is annoying. Yeah, buddy. Are you affected by this? Yeah, I didn't think so. Well, that's annoying. My tank relies on having abilities. And you are cheating. Oops, didn't mean to do that, but whatever, we're over here now. I wonder if he knows about this. Oh, hi there. Nope, not hi there. Hi there. There we go. We survived. Woo! Alright. You find this one the most difficult one? Oh, okay. Fair enough. No, honestly, just parkour. It is just parkour. Go over the top of it all. You're good. Alright, let us continue now. You can see the lovely aura of effect extending all around me, demonstrating the power of Equinox. Looks kind of pretty, to be honest. Pretty weird, still pretty. Let Jade Kaduba cheese that. I mean, honestly, just parkour works. Because, like, flying over stuff is cool and all if you can fly at speed. It is speed drift. So, just good old parkour like that. Brilliant. Magnificent, one might say. My current charge is only 400k, so that's usually enough to take out, like, Corpus units, but Grenier will easily hold up on that. Even with the corrosive projection, I did put out a tweet about this just earlier. Tweet and Blue Sky, so take your pick, take your poison. But, yeah, corrosive projection does a lot to reduce the amount of effective hit points on maxed armored enemies. The exact percentages aren't clean, but the way you can think about it is one corrosive projection in a squad makes armored enemies take about double damage. It's about that. 2 make them take about triple, 3 make, say, about quadruple damage, and 4 makes it about quintuple damage. So every extra corrosive projection is effectively plus 100% to your damage against armored enemies, assuming you're not bringing any other kind of armor bypass or removal. Fun fact. Hi there, enemies! I'm gonna nuke you. Bonk. Also, fun fact, the slash causes a brief stun on the small damage of main. So what that means is that when you switch from night form to day form, you get a brief stunning effect as well, giving you just a little bit more time to safely decast maim and explode with. Like this. There's the sun, and there's the bang, and if you survive, that's not allowed. Plants farming pigments? Yeah, we've been on that one for a long while. I think we have enough, it's just people haven't turned them in. Alright, I should probably try and get the former here as well, so let's go for that. It's always the same pattern. Right, left, upper right, and then far left. Always the same. And then it leads you right here. And do we get it? Do we get it? Do we get it? Do we get it? Yes! There we go. Former. Lovely stuff. And a lovely stuff from Clash Point with the 6 months of support on the channel. Much appreciated there. Hope you're doing well today. Ooh, we got an Xmas. Excellent. That's going to charge us up nicely. Let's switch and use that charge now. Bang. And we got a Burster that's just going to die to Companion because lol. Where does this continue? Where does this continue? Hold on. That Xmas is down. It was already rather damaged, so we didn't get much charge off of it, but that's fine. Just clip that form a bit and post it to YouTube Shorts. You know what? Honestly, not a bad shout. Anyone want to hit that clip button for me? Pop it together. Much appreciated. One thing I've heard some channels do, and I don't know if I'm hearing wrong or if this is something that actually happens, but one thing I've apparently heard is that some channels will ask people, like viewers like yourselves, to clip their streams and then just go post the clips yourself. Just go post them on TikTok or wherever, Instagram, YouTube, doesn't matter, doesn't care. Just go ahead and post them. And we'll even offer giveaways if those clips get a lot of views. No other licensing or whatnot, or no shenanigans, just straight up post it for yourself. Celebrate the moment. I'm not sure exactly how that works out. I feel like that's got to be borderline basically just a sponsored post at that point, but not sure I've really looked into it, to be honest with you. Don't know if any of y'all have come across that kind of thing yourself on any other channels. I should probably still be in defensive form because the enemies are still spawning on me. We are.
Your will was greater. This is good.
Ta-da! Suppose piano, yeah. If someone's got a channel that is large enough to be content farmed by bots, might as well get the community to do it instead. Yeah. What's the chance on the former from that puzzle? Honestly, no idea. I came across a rumor that it was locked to, like, you could only get it once per day, but I'm fairly certain that's just a rumor, so no idea. Every time I've gone to try and test it, the room then decides to elude me, and I never get to find out. Excuse me. That's what I say from the title. I thought you got early access to Ryan and Sirius. No. Equinox. Equinox is her own frame. But there we go. So, having seen the effectiveness there of the combo of the defensive play that switches into an explosive nuke, does that look like a nice, easy one to utilize for all y'all? Does that look like a build you could enjoy? Excuse me. And make use of as either a team or solo Equinox. Her entire defense is pretty much just put them to sleep, shield gate, nuke. Oh, excuse me today, sorry. Ah, but Rony has a clip for us. Wonderful, thank you, Rony. I'll grab that after stream. Young Mr. Myers popping in and saying howdy. Thanks for the Banshee video you made recently. I've been breathing some new life into. Glad that's come out nicely there for you. Next one is going to be on Gal Equinox here. I was already planning to have a look at Equinox next, considering that you basically said, nope, Equinox ain't going to get any retouches or whatnot. Like, well, that's good news for me. Bad news for everyone else, but good news for me, because it means I can safely make a video on it. Watch it turn out to be a lie. Just next week. Hi! Equinox changes! They wouldn't do that to me, would they? They wouldn't do that to me. Would they? So, next variant of this, we have Shadow Maim. You see, one issue with the gated transfer build is that you need to be putting enemies to sleep or they'll shoot at you. Now, what do you do if it's if there's others in the squad, radiation procs going around, stray shots that can just murder you, or most notably, everything has overguard because, yes, that's a thing they do in EDA and ETA. What do you do when you can't just survive? You hide. A 282% base duration Equinox, empowered further by Arcane Concentration to bring you up to 342%. 342% duration, chat! I dare say, that is a lot. That is... that is a lot. And what do you get for that? Well, you manage to get evade up to a base duration of 34 seconds and a duration per weak point kill of about, I think, 6.8 or 6.4, somewhere in that region. It's 6 something. Between 6 and 7. So, that means it is a very easy to maintain invisibility main build. And you can still swap between forms with energy transfer, so you can have it defensively, using rest to put enemies to sleep, whilst also being invisible, whilst charging up mend, to then switch forms and go, oh, by the way, bang. So that is the design here. Let's see now, those requests for various other missions. What missions did we have as a request? Survival Murmur from Ricochet. Okay. Let's see how well this works in a Survival Murmur solo setup. Let's do that. Do I collect spawn everyone in Steel Path? Yes. They spawn between 3 and 8 minutes into the mission, or 3 to 8 minutes after the last Acolyte spawned. Open world missions, and that includes the Zaraman, don't actually reset the timer when you complete missions, so that's why they can seem to spawn straight away there, or very soon. But yeah, it's 3 to 8 minutes on the spawn time normally. There are some places they won't spawn. I think that's mostly just Steel Path Arcwing missions, they won't spawn there. I think they don't spawn during Assassination missions, or at least certainly during the main Assassination fight they won't spawn. And they do require you to get kills to trigger a spawn opportunity. So if you just sit in a mission like, yep, nothing's happening, they'll show up eventually. No, they won't. You do need to actually kill something. And they do eventually just stop spawning in non-endless missions because the mission's done. Go home. They don't spawn until on boss site nodes? There it is. Alright, cool. Flowwolf say, again, just saw a short you crashing out over duality. I mean, was I wrong? You saw it in the short there, Flowwolf. You saw what was happening, and oh my, oh my. What a goddamn augment. What a goddamn augment. So to say, a survival murmur build that relies on evade, where some murmur enemies don't possess weak points? Yeah. Perfect testing ground, right? You know, the faction with the worst headshot opportunities, and then a headshot required defense. It's a perfect demonstration of capability, right? So let's see, it is one of these. There it is, Persto. Let's go. Nope, no Acolytes Imperator. Very true. I can't remember what Steel Essence, if any, you get from Imperator, but it ain't from Acolytes. We had a late request? Oh, that we did. Sorry about that. There we are. Right, let's make this happen. Now, fun fact, when I hack a terminal, I actually also get invisibility. So, once that runs out, I can cast Evade. Or as it gets close to running out, a little bit of optimization. Let's put us into that, into this, into that. And we can see we got a nice lovely 45 seconds on Evade already, because it turns out the dogs will charge us up 6 seconds per dog head. That is a sentence. That is indeed a sentence, but there you go, that's Warframe for you. And I already have 2.46 million charge, so we can swap form, and then just gonna go sneeze. And it is very, very, very effective. We just switch form, under the cloak of invisibility, blow up a whole group of stuff, and switch back again. Whilst also reactivating the setup. And you'll notice my shields are doing well, so I've got plenty of reserve emergency hit points. So long as violence doesn't turn up, we're good. I've gone and said it now, haven't I? Oh, that is a beautiful explosion. There is an Xmas unit that survived, and that is good news. Because we can now shoot it dead and gather some more hit points in the next lot. Let's try and charge the gun. Now, the gun is a little annoying to charge here, I will admit. Oh, lumbering fragments, my beloved. Please charge my gun. Thank you. Much better. Now I can swap forms. Bam. Now, I would probably recommend, if you're going to do this normally, so here. I would probably recommend make it where you can see what form your frame is in. You can try and measure it from the abilities, like just looking at it, but being able to see your frame by using that invis setting will make it easier. Alright. Well, that Grosling did not live. just did not live at all. No opportunity for survival. There we go. Yeah, this is not so much a testing stream as a verification and showcase stream. This is, look at this stuff, it absolutely slapper. That's a nice few kills. And then we go... bonk! Yeah, that's not going to get old. That's not going to get old. So this is the thing about Equinox, is the Equinox hasn't changed since 2018. Since 2018, that was when she got her last ornament, and that's it. Equinox is Equinox. There have been some stat changes, global stat changes, but nothing to actually address Equinox. Every single change since there's mattered to her is because of something else being introduced. That's it. That is all of it. Where's that happening? Hold on. Put it to sleep. And let's just nuke anyway. Ooh. But as you can see, we're using some of those things that got introduced. So that includes Arcane Concentration. That includes Incarnate Weapons Go Burst, so nice lovely chunks of heavy damage output. That includes Evade. That includes Hell. The Helmum system came out since 2018. Imagine trying to play Equinox with no Helminth options at all. That's just base Equinox. Oh, there's something over there. Alright. You want to summon something big and damaging? You got it. It's me. What's the range on this? Very high. It's 214%. And considering that is my second highest casting stat, this is kind of a little bit of a bonkers build. Does MAME aim for weak spots on lumbering fragments? MAME doesn't aim on the plane. It just kind of goes, yeah, those enemies over there, perish. Observe. It just kind of hits them all.
You can come home now. No need to be a hero on my account.
I don't think we need to come home just yet. This is actually a really fucking fun build. Honestly, like, just invisibly chilling. Misery's gonna turn up and try and do their best. Alright, chat, you ready for this? You ready for this? Oh, oh, that was exactly what I hoped for. Oh, that was exactly what I hoped for there. Thank you very much, Acolyte. Now, it was Misery. Misery's kind of cheating. But yeah, so long as you only use like half of Equinox's kit, it's fine. Bonk. But yeah, the damage output from nukes certainly does well. I'm probably not even switching as often as I could. Yeah, I can probably get away with switching frequently at like 3 mil. And that's one of the skill plays of Equinox, is knowing when to switch to get the best results. So I've got 1.5 mil damage right now. If I switch, I take out a whole bunch of them, but then I leave some of them alive like this. And the damage that's been dealt to him isn't actually included in the next nuke. So I think 3 mil for this level is a good point, but the point is different on every single mission. You just need to know based on the faction, the level, figure out what is your breakpoint. So I'm at 5 mil, I've overdone it. And look at that, that's beautiful. No duality? Fuck duality. Terrible, terrible augment. I've tried, I've really tried, both on and off stream to redeem it. I cannot. It is so bad. It comes down to 1, tiny duration. 2, you have to switch forms to utilize it. 3, the specters have been lobotomized. So they move bad, they act bad. I have clips of it, even with the dagger, which seemed to prove like an option. I've got a clip of where it stood next to an enemy, missing the enemy the entire time. Just doing nothing. So how do you play this specific build? So this is turn on evade and then aim for headshots. That's how you keep evade up. And you'll see we've got a constant high duration on that, so that's working out very nicely. Otherwise, sit in your night form. The reason being is you have access to sleep if you need it in an emergency. You have a generation of shields, which is really nice. Sit in your night form, kill stuff normally, and when you've got enough charge, you switch form, nuke, and then switch form back. The gameplay cycle there is very simple. It's a little sad that the 1 is basically reduced to being a step towards casting the 4, rather than its own functional ability, but that is kind of the problem with Equinox. She has 7 abilities, but she doesn't. The whole 7 abilities thing is a genuine lie. And it's kind of sad to see. I'm going to be going over it fully in a full video guide. Like I say, I want to get that out this week. Should have it done by end of Friday. So yeah, I can look forward to that for some weekend viewing. Oh, let's just get rid of that, shall we? That'll stun it, and then that'll kill it. Yeah, so like her third ability, if you've got low strength, her third ability does nothing. Nothing useful whatsoever. If you go for really low strength, it becomes funny in night form, but not in a useful way. Mostly it's just useless. But then a lot of her kit doesn't utilize strength, and her third ability generates strength that she's not using. Go figure. Her 2 is just a much worse version of Nova's 4, at least in day form. Night form, however, is one of the best abilities in the game. At least when it comes to crowd controlling enemies and putting them to sleep. It's better for putting enemies to sleep than Avara's sleep arrow. Oh, bollocks, I was on the wrong form. Alright, yeah, so there we go. First mistake on that one. So currently on main, switch to bend, there we are. Yeah, if I had the different invis setup, I'd be able to see what form I was on there. Skill issue, I know. Alright. Torment, can you kind of wait? I don't have the damage charged up. Actually, I do. Ow! There we go. So as we saw there, on another Acolyte, again, charging up a few million damage. Job done. What's the threshold for strength on a 3rd? When you say threshold for strength, what is it you're asking? Sorry, Moon. But yeah, we can see this is working quite nicely. With a little bit more focus, maintaining life support would be a doddle. And I don't mean operator focus, don't worry. No operator was used in the making of this build. Okay, that's not enough damage, but let's do it anyway. Yeah, it didn't kill the Xmas. Where does Strength of Star be used on the 3rd? That's the problem. It kinda doesn't. Let's get out of here and let me show you what I mean on that. Also, I've been so careless, I've actually let my evade duration get really low. But it's fine, it'll be well off cooldown by now. Get out of here. Actually, I might... Yep, I'm going to extract before it ran out of evade anyway. 2 good. 3 good. Cheers, Wally. So there you go. That is the basics of that particular build.
Let us to work.
So, quick reminder, that is a stupidly high duration evade. With Arcane Concentration, 342% duration. And this is no Invigoration, no Archon Shards for duration. Every last little bit of the duration is visible right here on this screen. Which is a lot. And somehow still 214% range with Narrow-Minded equipped. But as you can see, it's pretty much just duration, range, 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 duration, duration, range, efficiency, and energy transfer. The entire build is just those 2 stats with a little bit of efficiency thrown in because it's useful. Because if I don't have that, the cost actually increases quite a bit. Quite a bit. Yeah. Is there a cap on duration? Not that I'm aware of, no. You could go higher with shards. I don't recommend it though, because you won't be needing duration on other builds, whereas there are other shards that can be more helpful to you. Here's Clash Point. And yes, Akaboy jump scaring people once again. Guess you have to sacrifice your sight for evade. I mean, you can get a second sight. Easy enough to do. So, as per Moon's question, as to when is the strength enough on the 3rd ability, let me walk you through the problem here. This ability comes in 2 forms, because that's what Equinox does, she has 2 forms. The Pacify form and the Provoke form. The Provoke form is even better to understand just how bad this is. So let me walk you through that first. Provoke gives you extra ability strength. It creates an aura, you and all allies within that aura, extra ability strength. Nice and simple. That strength bonus is 20% multiplied by your strength, additive to strength, and is a maximum of 50% on its own, or 80% if you get the augment. So, Digital Orb for a moment, 50% maximum strength, and you need to invest 250% strength yourself to get to giving out 50% strength to you and your allies. And what does Equinox get for that? Maim, the base damage is 150. Excuse my language. It's 150 slash, which an extra 50% on that, an extra 75 damage. You don't need a whole ability to give you 75 damage. Maim on Uncast does not use your strength in any way whatsoever, so the strength bonus basically does nothing for Maim. So that's no good. When it comes to Rest and Rage, here it does do something. Damage, vulnerability, and speed increase on enemies are both affected by your strength, so 50% extra strength to this will make enemies take 25 points more damage. 25%. But bearing in mind that your damage vulnerability at that point from a 250% strength Equinox will already be 125%. So they'll go from 225 total damage to 250 total damage. So only on the targeted enemies, not all enemies, just the targeted ones with this ability. And that's going to be harder to do because you got so much strength, so you're investing less into range. You'll increase damage by about 10% by having Provoke active. And the speed increase, okay, they're also 10 points faster, but you're already giving them a 50% speed increase, now it's 60%. You're not actually going to notice that. They should be dying already. The last thing that Provoke can apply to is Metamorphosis, and this is where you really cry about it. I'm going to move my camera out of the way, because I realize I'm in the way for a lot of this now. Oopsies. There we are, I can just sit up here for a moment. Okay, so when it comes to Metamorphosis, it will only apply to casting Metamorphosis from your day form into night form, and going from day to night, you gain shield capacity and armor. So a 50% strength bonus to that will give you a whopping 75 shields and 125 armor. Oh, and those values, plus all the rest of the value you get from that ability, dwindles down over the duration. You don't get the shield buff and armor buff for the entire 25 seconds or whatever you have it modded to. It'll shrink away over time until by the time the ability duration hits 0 is when it will have also tapered down to 0. The ability has fallen off on time. So that's really bad. But that's only one side of it. That's only one side of the strength of Provoke. Okay, the entirety of Provoke is literally useless to Equinox's base kit, but, you know, there could be something else. And when you flip it around, you go to Night form, that's when you get something else. Indeed, you get the damage multiplier. The damage multiplier reduces the damage that enemies are dealing. Okay, cool. This actually has a unique benefit that is seen in almost no other location, and that is it'll even defend Overguard. Because you're not applying a damage resistance, like most defensive abilities do, you're applying a damage reduction. Enemies are actively dealing lower damage, so even Overguard and defense objectives, mobile defense, well, also mobile defense, but mirror defense, all of that take less damage from enemies. Brilliant. But, of course there's a but. It has two real downsides. Maybe three, maybe four. Honestly, let's count them as I go through. Downside number one. It's a damage multiplier starting at 0.5 and then divided by your strength. So the higher your strength is, the less damage they deal. Brilliant. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to work. But even if you're at like 250% strength, you're still applying effectively 80% damage reduction. That's a lot of strength to get merely 80%. That's a lot of work to get there. And don't forget, you can't get the strength buff from Provoke because you're in Night form, you're in Pacify now. So there is no strength buff from Provoke to make it even higher. That's gone. But if that wasn't enough, it doesn't apply this evenly. If you were thinking, hey Ken, it's a 45 meter radius or whatever range you end up with of 80% damage reduction, you know, let's say we managed to get the two together, really high range and really high strength. Nope. The further away the enemy is from you, the less effective the ability is. Apparently it's broken down into discrete rings. I'm not going to check if it's discrete rings or not, because it's a pain in the ass to test, but the point is that within the first quarter of the range, it's fully effective. So melee units coming up and smacking you, yeah, there's your damage reduction. But then as you go further away, it drops down to 50% effectiveness out at the furthest range. So your damage multiplier that you're applying to them isn't actually that much of a reduction for the longer ranged units. And the shorter your radius, the more pronounced, the steeper that fall off will be. And I'm not done. Did you think that was all of it? Did you think I couldn't make this worse? You might notice on the ability, the second to last line, it says energy per enemy. You don't gain that energy. No. You spend that energy per enemy in the aura, and it doesn't say energy per enemy to be truthful. It's hiding one other factor. It's energy per enemy per second, with no cap. Gloom has a cap of 10 enemies. Pacify does not. So if you are covering a huge area to try and get a huge effect on your sloping damage reduction curve, you will also then take on a huge energy burden. Now sure, it's got a base of only 0.5, you can spend efficiency, blah blah blah. You can see I've got that all the way down to 0.125 energy per enemy per second. But still, all of that range, all of that coverage, all of those enemies, say there's 20 enemies in that area, that's still a lot of energy being drained. That is, on top of using something like Mend, you're getting into the ballpark of the amount of energy drain Equinox or Revenant spend to keep their fourth ability running. And all you're doing is reducing the amount of damage incoming by less than most defensive abilities. But it gets worse. Surely I must be out of things, right? Nope. The augment for Pacify and Provoke. The augment for Pacify and Provoke is based on a charging mechanic. In order to charge it up on Provoke, you and your team need to deal damage to enemies. The damage is percent based off their hit points, so kill enough enemies, bam, it's charged up, you've got all of this extra strength buff. And when you switch form, the ability turns off and it's all gone. Well done. I hope you enjoyed doing all of that work. It vanished because you tried using your kit. And now you're in night form, and you turn on Pacify with the Peaceful Provocation augment. In order for Peaceful Provocation to increase its own buff, that is, to give a slowing effect to enemies, you need to take damage. The very thing you are trying to avoid happening by using Pacify, by using Sleep. The very thing you are trying to do. It asks you to instead take damage and is scaled on percent hit points lost. Only when enough percent of hit points has been lost by you and your team in the affected area will you reach that maximum level of slow. And it can go up to 80% slow. Gloom starts at 95% if you have enough strength. So yeah, And again, don't forget, you know, slope. So, Pacify and Provoke is an ability that does nothing if you have low or zero strength. And if you do have the strength, not only are you kicking yourself in the nuts somewhere to get there, but then it doesn't actually do anything for you. To top this all off, this is a damage reduction ability, right? Damage reduction ability. So you're worried about enemies dealing damage to your night form and to your allies whilst you're in night form. Or you could just put them to sleep. They're all asleep now. You know how much damage reduction that is? 100%! No fall off over distance. No extra energy drain over time. No limitations on channeled ability, blah blah blah. Nope, they're just asleep. Oh, but Ken, what about overguarded enemies? You can't put overguarded enemies to sleep. That's right, and you also can't affect them with Pacify. Their damage will not be reduced, even if you're not trying to slow them with the augment. Pacify has no effect on overguarded enemies. I tested myself to fully verify it. Nothing. So, yeah, the third ability is shit on Equinox's base kit. Not always, but on Equinox's base kit, it's bad. So this is why I say, honestly, you can dump strength on Equinox base and just remove the third ability. It's that genuinely bad. But I've made it work. And I think if I skip over Summoner side, we can come back to that. I think we can have a look at Nuclear Paladin. This is one I did cover a little bit on stream last time, but let's go over it anyway. It has been refined to its absolute maximums. And what we have here is a no Archon Shard required. They're nice, but not required. No Archon Shard required setup, which will make the Corpus wish they never existed. Other factions are a little bit more problematic. There are issues, but it works. And this actually gets stronger the more people there are on your team. Now, for Nuclear Paladin to do its best, if you're on your own, stream the color. Oh, was there there was another color request? Was there? Oh, sorry. Yep. Oh right, I skipped it over because I saw Petra put a whole message into there. I was like, Petra, that's not how we do messages. But let's see. I wanted to say I really appreciate the content you make. Your streams are always great fun. I know I feel bad. I could always binge your vids even when I am otherwise not interacting with Warframe. Thank you for all the good time you gave us. Also, Urple. Petra, thank you. That's not how we use it. That's your Urple. Alright. So, yes. You did ask for color? Yeah, the rules is ask for color, not ask for color and also message Petra. If you want to start trying to throw the rules around here, you'll find out who sets them. Come on now, just because you said a nice thing doesn't mean you get to be silly. So, how does this work? Nuclear Paladin. It took me a while to come up with the ideal name for this one, and honestly, I think that works out brilliantly. Right on the ad. Chat, what do we say to people who are suffering with ads? Because you're going to have to say it for me. They can't hear me at the moment. Moon, no. Why did you become a fish, Moon? What? Okay. Oh, you got the Red Bull ad again. I just realised, yeah. You don't have one of the correct badges, do you? So you also can't hear me right now. Dear. Okay, so let us swap us over to Shade. There we are. Yep, Shade is Ghost. That's all we need on it. That's all we care about it. Everything else doesn't need to exist. Shade and Ghost, we are good. The rest helps, but who cares? So the idea with the Nuclear Paladin is indeed we are going to use the Stealth of Shade. You can also use Hero's Kubro. I'm not going to use Hero's Kubro. With our Nuclear Paladin, we are going to use Provoke. After all of that shit I just said about Provoke, after talking mad smack at Provoke, we are going to use Provoke. Because Provoke is going to give us a 33% strength buff, and that means we don't need to find the rest of the strength anywhere else. That is all this is doing. This ability is a mod slot. With that 33% strength buff, this 169 becomes, what's that, 202%. And 202% is a very interesting number because it's just slightly higher than 200%. At 200%, Rage here will give a damage vulnerability of 100%. Basically, anyone targeted by Rage takes double damage. But how good is double damage? Rest Rage isn't really that amazing, it's only double damage. It's basically a targeted pseudo-viral proc of sorts. Smite here will deal up to 50% of enemy hit points as damage. It'll remove their armor, it'll remove their overguard, and deal 50%. So if they take double damage, and we deal 50%, I don't think I need to explain that anymore. I think you can kind of figure it out. If you can't figure out 50% times 2, I can't help you. So we have a day form for strength, a day form for rage, no means to switch to night form because we don't damn well need it. And if we're still on day form, if we're still running high efficiency, if we're still running channeled abilities at 25.8% of their initial value, we can still afford to use Maim at a 235% rage on Maim. Ah yes, we can still nuke. And hence we have the Nuclear Paladin, because we smite with a fury of 1,000 suns. Allow me to demonstrate. Let's head on in to a good old Corpus mission. Hello there, Corpus. We're going to go mess up this ship over here. Why not? Can you use Zarta's Whisper to make it 200%? Zarta's Whisper would mean no smite. So, that's not going to work. You only get one subsume, unfortunately. Actually, it's probably for the best. Everything would just be Zarta, raw, nourish stuff. Alright then. Now, this is the scary part. We need Shade to go online. So, let's activate this. Let's activate... Oh, gods, I've already been found. Let's activate this. Oh, look at them. They're so confused. Actually, smartest enemy. Like, it's probably still here, right? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Clap. Donk. Donk. Ah, you there. Donk. You over there. Donk. Oh, what about you lot? Donk. Donk. Is that enough damage? That might be enough damage. Let's try it. It was indeed enough damage. Donk. And blah. And then we roll into range. Whew, just about got the ghost in time. Splendid. So yeah, this is pretty much just you Thanos snap everything. It is Thanos the build. Now, there is a slight potential for energy concerns, so you do not have to worry about that eventually. Ideally, don't run out of energy, is my honest advice. Is there a build using duality? Not one I would recommend. Okay, 50 energy, did not trigger energize, little concerning. This build works best when we don't run out of energy. Build did not get the energy. Good thing we have steadfast. Ah, there we go. We got our energy. There is a little bit of an RNG weakness, but eventually you're fine. Something's still alive down here. Is there an Xmas down here? There is! Okay, so Xmas, you first smite, then you rage, then you smite, they die, and you move along quite happily. There's an enemy 300 meters that way? No, I refuse. And bang! And recast. And off we go again. Ah! Now we run into an issue. How do we deal with nullifiers without breaking our stealth? Operator! Yeah, that's how you deal with the nullifiers. Because that's not using a weapon. That's using your body. It's different. Don't ask questions. Treasurers also die to this, so rip Treasurer. Let's just blow up all of these. Thank you for the extra energy. 1 million damage. Bang. And everything nearby is dead. Do have to worry about invis running out, because I wasn't near to enemies for long enough. Let's just roll until we're invis again. There we go. And perish. I'm going to go visible. Oh well. So yeah, unfortunately it can be a little bit too good at killing sometimes, and then you run out of things to make you invisible. But give it a second, you'll recharge, and then you're good to go. Ow. Get rid of that, and then get rid of them. It's very, very effective. Also, yes, Xmas with their bundles of hit points also just makes Smite very effective, because the Smite AoE is based on the hit points you targeted it on. So, yeah.
Well done. Now get to extraction.
You cast Death. What kind? Instant. It's supposed to be a deterrent. Oh, we've got an incoming Acolyte, just as I run out of enemies to charge up on. Oh, I've still got a few more. I haven't got a lot of charge, actually. Misery. Now, we can also armor strip the Acolyte, which is nice. Can't rage them. Yep. Alright, this should be good enough. It wasn't good enough! Shit. Yeah, so, turning up now when I've run out of Xmas to charge up a lot of damage on, that's really rude. That is really, genuinely rude. And, I don't have a good answer here, so let's just... Oh! No! Not like this! You're the weakest Acolyte! We're fine. There we are, we're fine. How am I permanently invis like that? Shade Companion. Shade and Heras both can do that trick. But that was only 5 minutes. What if that was a fluke of mission? Go again. Summon Child, staple of the Paladin's kit. I mean, it's basically Summon Steed. Except it's Summon Steve. You know? It works. For a certain definition of works. There we go. I'm just double checking, did I actually record that correctly? Because I am recording some of these clips to use in the vid. It's sensible to record as we go, right? Shards, none that are technically important, but I've got 2 for casting speed, 1 for starting energy, 1 for maximum energy. I know a use for blue shards. Yeah. This is what my shard layout looks like, and honestly I really recommend the maximum energy one. It means you don't need to use flow in your builds, you can just use that max energy, and that is enough to soften the RNG. That's all you need, just soften the RNG a little bit. Starting energy is really nice, and I think this build doesn't have room for preparation. Yeah, no. We need even the power drift to get to the strength breakpoint, so it's either you put in a shard for starting energy, or you put in the shards for strength so that you can replace it. some way, somehow, you need the strength, and it's good to have the starting energy. So, fit them both in. And then casting speed. Casting speed is nice. You don't need the casting speed, but it is nice. Oh yeah, I should use that Cephalon Suit Standing. I did see that before stream and then didn't act on it. Thank you for the reminder. Let's get some phosphor. Cool, there we go. Job done. Powers and kills for strength? Not good enough. How are you going to get powers and kills consistently without breaking your stealth and whilst doing everything else? The answer is you can't. Powers don't break stealth. So that's just not workable. Likewise, using operator bonuses to get the strength, not workable. You want to be nuking as a paladin, not spending time juggling bonuses. I'm going to make a YouTube video on all these builds, already working on it. You should have access to it by Friday if I can get it finished in time. Does excess mod capacity give more starting energy? Correct, it does, but not much. So I'm getting 281.2 starting energy here. The vast majority of that is coming from the shard. Vast majority. The spare mod capacity here is giving me 20. It's not a lot. So yeah, technically if you wanted to former all kinds of slots and get the absolute max out of it, you could that way. This already has a former on most of everything anyway that you could do, so it doesn't really do a lot more. Not much more to find. The Archon Shard, putting us at 281.2 in total. Hell yeah, that's enough. If 280 energy isn't enough to get you started, something's gone very wrong. Certainly with this kind of efficiency. Yeah. But yeah, let's give that one another run through. Why not? Like I say, this is very good against the Corpus. In terms of other factions, it does struggle. Against the Grineer, they just have too much armor. So you can smite them one by one, but you need to smite a lot more to build up a powerful enough nuke. And the occasionally, sometimes, Nuclear Paladin isn't as impressive as the Nuclear Paladin. So there is a lot more smite casting. Thankfully, with the efficiency, making smite 6.25 energy, and we've got Steadfast in there, it's manageable. Although you do also need to cast Rage on each new group. So, it's workable, but not like amazing workable against Grineer. Against the Infested, you'd think it should work. No armor. Like, the most of the time anyway. There's a couple with armor, but don't worry about it. No armor most of the time, so Maim should be at its absolute best. The problem is Ancients, and Ancient Disruptors in particular. Ancient Disruptors are ability resistant, so they just take very little damage from it. You can't shoot because you'll break your invisibility, so you need to deal with them some other way. Which basically just leaves you with Operator or Drifter every single time you see an Ancient. That's not great. And that's just the Disruptors. For normal Ancients, there is a different problem. Normal Ancients, and I've reported this as a bug because I don't believe it should be like this. Normal Ancients have a 50% damage reduction if you shoot their back. That whole crown or backpack or whatever you want to call it on the back of them, 50% damage reduction. And that is where Smite tries to hit them. So even when you buff up the damage with a 100% damage of vulnerability using Rage, you don't deal 50% times 100%, you deal 50% times 50% times 100%, 200%. So the total goes from half to full to half. That's not lethal. If it ain't lethal, it doesn't work. You don't get any main charge from an enemy that didn't die. So against the Infested, Disruptors in particular, and all Ancients in general, are a pain in the ass. They will mess things up. There is also the Ancient Protect, which gives overguard to units. Overguarded units can't be raged, so you've got yet more faff to go through. They unfortunately just screw it up. It feels like it should work, and then it just doesn't. Damn you, Infested. Over in the Void, you've got a mix of things. Notably, you've got armored units, so you've got the Grineer issue, and you'll also have Ancients, so you've got the Ancient issue. So in the Void, it's also not going to be too great. That's a problem. When it comes to other factions to face, Sentience basically no one farms in this way, so it doesn't matter. Against the Tekrot, you've got Scuzzies, and Scuzzies have the ancient issue. They have a 50% damage spot on their rear, and that is again where Smite hits them. I've also reported this as a bug. So against the Tekrot, the ever-present Scuzzies will resist the Smite of the Nuclear Paladin. You can still charge up on the other units, and that'll work, including the Obsolite. The Obsolite doesn't have this same issue. But for the Scuzzies, if you target them, they just won't die. And now you've wasted your ability. Good job. Go spend your energy elsewhere. They need to be nuked. And that's a problem. And against the Skuldra, armor. We're back to the armor again. If you could get 4 people in a squad all hiding away with the corrosive projections, then it'd work. But because the armor is there, it means you need to get a lot more smites in before the main will be lethal. Yeah. Rage and Smite will kill the Grineer, but you're not getting enough damage built up on your main charge compared to the Corpus. The Corpus, you just need to kill 2 enemies for 150% total hit point store to kill basically every matching enemy within quite a distance. Kill 3 or 4 of them, wide area nuke. Against the Grineer, you need something more like 20 odd kills to get that same kind of nuke because of their armor. It's just that much of an impact. And that's with corrosive projection. I clicked there, but it didn't show, whatever. So yeah, works very well against the Corpus. For everyone else, there are problems you will run into. Problems that can be solved one way or another, but they're still problems. It's not an I win strategy, and part of it is by design, part of it is by what I hope to God is a bug. Why abilities attack strong spots? Don't know, but it happens. We tested this on stream with various abilities, and yeah, I immediately reported as a bug, because it's stupid. So, let's give this another run through over on here. We activate the Strength, now we have one-shot capabilities, we activate Maim, just to give things a little bit of a stun, and also to start charging. We should go invisible, there we go, and now let's start blowing things up. It's a satisfyingly active build, and it occasionally does this. Oops, I'm visible. Let's stun things for a moment. Invis please, invis please, invis please. Shade! There we are. I hate that the cooldown doesn't show on any kind of buff bar. You just have to try and hope that it aligns when you need it. Whew. But yeah, as you can see, when you use the right setup in the right place, you get the right results. Hopefully to the surprise of no one, Warframe is a game where you need to actually build to defeat the mission, not just use a one-size-fits-all Revenant. I know some of you want a one-size-fits-all Revenant out of Equinox, that's not going to happen. Nullifiers, we do that. They get briefly stunned by Maim, which makes it safer to deal with them. And then we move on. Invis ran out, so I'm just going to let the cooldown shift for a moment. There we go. Oh, I think I went Invis off a camera. Works for me. Oh, didn't quite do that right. There we go, and bang. Move forwards. Invis is out, so I'm just going to try and brute force this. Invis applied. Ah! Oh god, that stray shot. Yeah, gotta be careful of those stray shots. It is not a perfectly survivable build. We are trying to hide under Invis, and Invis is leaky. That is the long and short of it. Damn nullifiers. No one likes nullifiers. I haven't played Oberon after rework. What's happening? This isn't Oberon. This is Equinox. Welcome on in. I'm using Oberon Smite to, in combination with the damage buffing ability, basically just one-shot enemies, and use that to charge up a nuke, which will, when done correctly, one-shot an entire group of them. They just one-shot themselves there. The invis is very leaky. Gotta be careful about that invis.
Most wise founder, protect your avaricious servant.
Yeah, tissue paper tank runs into problems.
On the run. Another successful
Yoink.
mission. Find extraction.
Cold prox Y. Invis, please. Thank you. Get rid of that. For those wondering why I'm having to use operator there, it's because if I shoot, I break the invis. So I need to use my operator so as not to lose the invis from shade. Because as we saw, being visible is being dead.
Learned here will serve you well.
But yeah. And you can use that in exterminate, mobile defense, survival, anything corpus. Anything corpus, that'll work. There you are. That's the nuclear paladin. Is it as strong as other nukes in the game? No, absolutely not. Other nukes in the game don't die when something breathes in their direction. Other nukes in the game don't need to charge up by using their operator to take out nullifiers. But if you want to use Equinox, and you want to solo nuke things whilst having no tank, this is a build that works. For a certain definition of works. That is the point. Equinox is not a frame that works all the time. She is a frame that works in particular ways, in particular places. So that is the Nuclear Paladin. That is where we can actually use the strength buff provoke in a way that feels like we are empowering our nuke. Because, well, actually we are. The strength buff is helping two abilities at once to fuel this fourth ability. It's a full caster Equinox. It's just suicidally weak. Also, yes, I know it has a corrosive projection on there against the corpus. If you don't have that against armored foes, you are just going to be worse anyway. So, have it. Might as well. Yo!
Hi.
Hello. Chaos Kitty Cat, thank you very much for resubscribing. Up onto 4 months of support. Every day a step, well, every month I suppose, a step further up the chain of the teacups there. Much appreciated. Right. Somnicide. I had a look. Somnicide is not a word, so I have coined it. There needed to be a word for this, and I couldn't find the word, so I created the word. Somnicide. That is, to kill those who sleep. I wonder if you can guess what this build does. Yeah, no further explanation needed. Let's switch you to no shooting. Oh wait, that's shade. We don't even want shade for this, so let's grab you, but switch you to no shooty. I will do the killing here, thank you very much. Now, I just said that the previous build was no good against the Grenadier, so how about something that's good against the Grenadier? Yeah, it's this one. It is this build. Okie dokie. We are currently in day form. Let's fix that. Night form. Oh god, there's a short in there, isn't there? Day form. Night form. Day form. Night form. Anyway, whilst I'm just having a moment of being frankly too silly, let's just stab everything to death. You'll notice that there is 0 risk of it going even slightly wrong because, well, yeah, nothing can stop me. Not even Xmas now because they can't even see me. I am invisible. I am dangerous. And also finishes are weird on some creatures, but whatever. I don't even care about the stealth bonus here. I am just... Oh, sorry. They woke up. I'm just stabbing stuff to death. Oh, hey, this guy noticed. Oh well, he's gonna ruin the stealth bonus. Still dead. What's he gonna do about it? Go blog about it. And fun fact with sleep, for those of you who've not used Rest and Rage before, you can't cast it incorrectly. You are physically restricted from it. You see there's no enemies here? I can't put anything to sleep, so I can't even spend the energy. Also, did you know you can bullet jump through those? Now, because I'm invisible, he has no idea I'm here. Rip. Yeah, it didn't one-shot him because this dagger isn't set up to one-shot Xmas. But it still hurt. Now, you have to do that before Xmas realize there's a threat. So that's why I had to go 4 in there. Also, you need the invis. So, can I have that back, please? Please? Thank you. There we are. Because if an Xmas is alerted, then you have to resort to more uncivilized methods of dispatching them. It's rather unfortunate. But we don't have to do that right now. It worked well. And yeah, this may not be the Obliterator 9000. We're not taking out entire rooms of enemies by glancing in that direction, Ash. Or, you know, so many other frames. But we are invisible, and we are stabbing everything to death. My third ability doesn't exist. My fourth ability doesn't exist. My first ability only existed because I didn't use my, what's it called? My emissive to start in night form. This is a one ability build. Because that's how Equinox works. And, I mean, what else would you put on here? What else do we need? Maybe Silence Subsumed, or Mark for Death Nuking? Honestly, you could. You could use Silence. That's probably the best one to use, yeah. But, Mark for Death, I've never been a fan of. You could just stab the stuff.
Subject found. Moderate clone rot. Initiating reclamation.
But nice of them to let us know they're doing that. Anyway, stab. I think someone's moving around, which means they are an Xmas. Where are you? No? Maybe I'm mistaken. Now, I do have the Augment equipped at the moment. Here's the guy. I do have the Augment equipped, which makes it where when I kill an enemy affected by Rest, it'll spread the effect to nearby enemies. I've noticed it work, like, once the entire time we've been here. Once. And that's because the radius on it is so small. It is the same radius as the AoE on cast in the first place. But the AoE on cast is from a point of my choosing distantly from me. If the sleep works, all the enemies in the AoE are just asleep. They're not going anywhere. Everyone's caught. So there shouldn't be much of anything more to actually catch. So yeah, it's hi, can we all go to sleep please? Thank you. Yeah, it's not really beneficial to have the Augment, but there's also not really much of anything else that needs to go there. Can we die please? Thank you. God, I hate it when they don't listen to the script and try to stay alive. Like, this is a stealth stabby build. You don't get to live. If you wanted to live, you shouldn't have been a Grineer. Them's the breaks. Oh yeah, you can use the invis from from Umbra's Nikana. What's it called? Skiajati. Yeah, you can use that as well. Now here we do have one teeny tiny little bit of a threat. Acolytes do not give a flying fuck about this approach. Unfortunately for them, the NM also still deals damage. So, take them out in conventional ways. You can, if you want to, also charge up MAME on this. Just checking, did I set this up with... Yeah, it's got MAME effective energy to it. The only downside to using MAME continuously... sorry. Well, there's two downsides. First of all, you can't start on MAME. You need to use energy transfer, which... You could do that instead of the Augment Carmen Frenzy. Probably would work out. But also, when you switch to MAME, it'll deal a little bit of damage to all the slept enemies. They'll fall over, and that just gets even more awkward to do. These two are kind of looking at each other. I need them to not see each other, so I can get away with that, without the other one becoming aware. So I can then do the same to her, as a third X. Oh my god, you're not dead. You didn't see anything, you didn't see anything, you didn't see anything. He did. God damn it. That worked. Oh yeah, the crescendo on this melee is absolutely helping in the I have loads of damage department. Also, fun fact, daggers open enemies to finishers. In a pinch, you can use that.
The enemy is broken. Well done.
Dagger heavy
Get to
attack.
extraction.
Any reason behind Worm Prime? So the reason for Worm Prime is it's on my no shooty setup. Its entire job is to not interfere and do anything in the mission. It is just a companion for the basic companion benefits like a shield regen, extra enemy radar, loot radar, that sort of stuff. I have a specific do not interfere with what I'm trying to demonstrate build on it. Yeah, this is the Space Ninja setup. Because stealth gameplay in this game is woefully under-supported without Pure Invis, we use Sleep and Pure Invis. And, well, I mean, you can see the results. And the affinity drops there as they happen. If I'd set up to be able to one-shot Xmas with my dagger, we'd see even larger stuff. But yeah, absolute chunks of it. Look at those focus gains. If you ever wanted a slower world, go all stealth ninja to it, you absolutely can. So there we go. Acolytes will not be put to sleep, so you just need to bring different answers. Like a lot of Warframe, you can't just bring one answer for everything. You do need to consider the edge cases. And let's face it, edge cases is a brilliant way of describing the Acolytes, the more I think about it. What all affects finisher damage? Mostly finish damage bonuses, but also I believe pure damage affects it, elemental mods half affect it, literally they're half effective. Crits do not affect it, but crits can happen at the same time, so they can add alongside it. And faction bonuses have an effect, viral procs or magnetic procs, they have an effect. The type of weapon you use dictates the finish and multiplier you get, so that'll affect it as well. There's a lot of things involved in it, really. Yeah, Equinox Duality Epitaph, I have heard, is plenty workable for status spreading. The downside, as far as I'm concerned, is one, the absolute insane ammo consumption, because Equinox doesn't try to be careful with ammo, and two, you're basically locked into just using it as a status primer, which I'd rather just shoot it myself, to be honest. Do I have an opinion on whether or not Equinox needs a rework? Yes. She does. I don't care if it's a small amount or a large amount, whether it's a retouch or whatnot, but whatever DE you come up with, at the very minimum, Equinox isn't in a good enough spot. I can make a lot of things work with her, but so far we've gone through gated transfer. This is basically just put things to sleep or have enough tank they can't stop us in the first place, and then just occasionally explode. It's a gun platform that explodes. OG blast proc. Go burr. This is only made possible by evade, subsume. So that's not Equinox being Equinox. And even then it is mostly hide. And things go boom. The rest of the kit, again, barely exists. Somnicide was entirely just using rest. The augment wasn't even helping all that much. It's just kind of there, but you can use it. Even switching in that, another energy transfer build would probably be even more effective. And duality is right out, no touchy. And the third ability still sucks. Nuclear Paladin, I could finally get the third ability to matter, only as basically to hit a breakpoint, and then it's only hitting a breakpoint to make Rest and Rage hit a breakpoint, which is only hitting a breakpoint to hit an artificial breakpoint of Smite, to turn it into a one-shot, and all of that is just to power up main to be even stronger. So I'm getting the only real benefit this can provide to this kind of approach, to getting the only real benefit this can provide. I'm really tying it together as best I can there, and it's such a hyper-focused build. And so now, it's time for the next hyper-focused build. A build that you might even wonder if it's even necessary, but we're going to do it anyway. Bullet Time. Bullet Time also uses Provoke. This time, Provoke is now providing us a 45% strength bonus. And again, this is no Archon shards needed to get here. 45% ability strength, on top of 229 modded. That is 274%. And we have Gloom. Gloom has a breakpoint at 272% strength for 95% slowing field. So we are just over that. That little 2%, if I could find a way to not spend it in a way that matters, I would. But this is as close as we can get. Perfectly threading that needle for a 95% slow immediately. And the thing about 95% slow, enemies are now 20 times slower than they were before. 20 times slower is an insane amount. And completely eclipses everything Equinox can do with Pacify. Not only that, you'll notice we're using Provoke, we're in day form, so this is a control and therefore a survival ability that works in day form, because day has nothing. No damage reduction, no restoration, no sleep, no crowd control, no protection, aside from the slightest stun on maim. So that's why Gloom exists here. We have this massive powered slowing field. It can go out to 23 meters as well, which is pretty damn strong. The energy drain is capped at 1.88 per second. We can afford that. And so we can now maim whilst being safe. And after fiddling with this build, I've managed to make it even cheesier. Not in a powerful way, in a wow that's actually just kind of goofy. Because you might notice I have adaptation on here, despite having some really tiny hit point stats. This terrible arcane, considering I'm making builds for a terrible frame in terms of its unity, let's bring the two together. Where else are you going to have 3 channeled abilities at once? We have Gloom. We have the power-up from Provoke, which is a channeled ability as far as the game is concerned, for powering Gloom. And we have Maim. And so with 3 channeled abilities, we get 3 triggers of Arcane Intention, 750 additional health. It's not really that much, I'll be quite honest with you, but considering enemies are moving at 20 times speed, why not? And it means we can then also use the lifesteal out of Gloom in combination with adaptation for should we somehow start taking some damage, we actually have a tank. Naturally, if your abilities turn off, don't let that happen. If you really need it, you can also use Metamorphosis to swap forms. And by swapping forms, you'll then have access to Pacify to, again, reduce enemy damage on top of slowing them by 95% with Gloom, and you'd have access to Mend to further regenerate your health and shields. All Hildren's abilities counter-channeled? Oh yeah, the Ultra Shield Frame. They're going to use Arcane Intention, yeah. Valid, but also, pass. So in this case, you can have big slows with big damage reduction, with big heals on big hit point pool, with big resistance, or stick to the day form, have big slows, power buff to make the big slows happen, and still get maim, because maim go burr. And that is the idea behind this. The range on maim has come down to basically half what it was. It's only a 26 meter radius now. But that's still good enough in the majority of circumstances. You just might need to charge it a little bit more to get the guys 15 meters away from you. Of particular note on that is if you use Provoke to buff the strength of Gloom, and then you switch with Metamorphosis into Night Form, thus turning off Provoke, Gloom retains the strength bonus. It's Snapshot. So you just keep the 95% bonus even if you switch to Night Form, or even if you just turn off Provoke because Gloom's active now. And Arcane Intention is also slightly here to go, guys, I know it's the correct thing to turn it off, but it just feels wrong. It just feels wrong. Because let's face it, if we could have 2 subsumes, we could swap this out for, what's it called? The strength one you get in the helmet. In fact, I don't even remember the name of it, it's so niche. Empower, there it is. Yeah. Have I tried shield tanking with the Knight version of main? You mean with Mend? And yes. Yeah, there is also Bright Bonnet. Bright Bonnet is honestly just a better Provoke in almost every way. Unfortunately, we only have 1 subsume slot, and hey, at least this follows us, I guess? Yeah, Bright Bonnet is just so much better. So much better. Yeah, so this is Bullet Time. It is a kind of weird adaptation, even into Amar's Hatreded, which means ever so slightly more armor. Why is that stat there? Why is that stat there? It's so bad. Anyway, but yeah. Slight little bits here or there. Absolutely. Min-max the strength. We've got the ability efficiencies right on the 25% line, even despite the negative duration. And I found a use for this stupid little arcane. It's an uncommon one, so I can understand why it's a bad arcane, but I mean, it still feels bad to have a bad one. So let's bullet time. Yeah. Let go bullet time. Someone said about some Scaldra, so let's go be addicted to Scaldra. You drop the duration fur and still maintain efficiency. It gets tight. Because you got to remember, we've got various factors coming into play there. But it starts getting a bit tight. Bonk! Completely unnecessary bonk, I know. Anyway, Bloom! Oh, I almost forgot. Main. So yeah, now we've got the radius and the maim. Oh, look at him go. So we've stun locked him with maim. Man. Just... what do you think's going through his head right now? Mostly the bullets. Bomber! Now, this is where we have an Xmas unit. Oops, there goes the Overguard. I have nothing to add. Just absolute poser. So yeah, in case you're wondering what bullet time looks like when you have maximize the amount of strength you can put into it, this is it. The enemies literally don't know what to do anymore, and because they are also potentially struggling with the stun from main, you just kind of... It's a point-and-click adventure now. You know what? Bonk!
This sector is home to a Scaldra high-security cache. If Fervon charges will get you inside, but you've gotta be quick.
Oh, let's
They're
mount the
rigged
car.
to self-destruct.
Hey y'all, how we doing over here? Good, good, good. Yeah, looking good. Alright. Living the best lives. Ooh, an Xmas. Goodbye Overguard, and goodbye Face. Yeah, very much goodbye Face on that one. Oh boy. The Overguard stripping from a dog. Honestly, don't need it. You'll see some enemies moving around faster than everything else, and you just go, oh, okay. Bang. What's that? You had Overguard? That's cute. Now you don't. We straight up just don't need to worry. If Overguard is that much of a problem, then get a better gun. It works on other setups, absolutely. Like, the Hounds have been massively improved since their release. God, on release they were bad.
You looted the
But yeah.
clubhouse.
It
Guess what?
doesn't
Their
need the extra work.
initiators are now on the way.
And all the while, I've got 1200 health as Equinox. Bonk.
Deploy. Give Our Lady Lua something to weep over tonight.
Yeah, a good gun really does trivialize even Xmas units. You realize there's just not the same threats. When all the other enemies just aren't able to deal with you, the only thing left is shooting the ones that are moving. Now granted, against the Scaldra, they do have a lot of Xmas units. 1999 is Xmas Stronghold pretty much all the time. Yeah, I do sacrifice like 300 health? No, 250 health to deactivate main. It's a little bit ironic. I hurt myself to hurt them, but I'm not really hurting. I'm just flexing the hit points I never needed. Where's that one? Hi there. Ooh, so we got an incoming Acolyte. That's going to be fun. And you know why that's fun, chat? Acolytes can't be put to sleep. They can, however, be put to slow. Hi! I'd pay more attention to him, but I'm kind of currently being attacked by the Xmas units that aren't being slowed.
You are trying my patience with these antics. Stormfall troops. Maybe
Oh, the drones are out. Alright, one down, two down. Damn, I really wanted to look at that pose, but yeah. Scaldra really do not give moments to look at stuff like this. There we are. Does Gloom increase the time it takes for silence to violence you? Yes. As long as you get them in aura in time, everything they do takes 20 times as long. Everything. Look at this guy. He's still coming back from that animation. Anyway. Oh god, it's so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful. But it works. All those hit points, all those threats, and you just kind of go, but what if you were slow? They'll think of a comeback in the shower like next week or so. Pray for them. Once again, it's not the most defended build. The adaptation doesn't really do much. I will be quite honest with you. That bit is more me slightly beaming on an arcane that's normally useless. And is still kind of useless. But again, when else are you going to use it? Sneeze. Well, I'm not sure how that happened, but... Oh, where is he? There you are. Sadly, does not slow the jade beams. You slow a lot of what they do, but not those. That's not the one shooting at me, that's the one shooting at me. There we go. All of these lot have spawned in. Bang. Sucks to be them, honestly. Only say, I wonder what would happen if a Nova in the past he was adding a 75% slow, or is there a slow cap? I don't think there is a slow cap, no. There's a cap on Gloom of 95%, but other things can just slow them further, yeah. You just don't really need it. Look at this. Look at this. Tell me you need any more slowing than that. Ah yes, kindly do not join in on this. I'm kind of busy. Thank you. Give him a moment. It's only like a 1 to 2 second stun, but 20 times slower. And look at that energy economy. Oh, can we stop with the Jade Xmas, please? Yeah, still stunned. Alright, that's, Woo! They're just having fun over there. Tekra and Skuldra just fighting down in the tunnel. Have you finished being stunned yet? No, I don't think she's quite out of that animation. She or he? I actually don't know. Probably all. There's no reason to hire just one gender for the role. Oh, is that? Are you going for a grenade? Is that what you're doing? Oh, yeah, I think that... Hold on. Wait, no. No, that's just part of their pipes flailing around really, really slowly. Never mind. Energy's still holding quite fine. I'm still over 200 energy left. And there's orbs just waiting for me. I've lost all of my damage bonuses waiting for them to come out of the sun. Here we go! There it is! They finally exited that stun. Oh my god, that took even longer than I was expecting. Alright, what's next? Oh, yep, you've seen me. Here we go. Ability time! This is just rude. Hey D, you wanted us to slow the game down and appreciate the animations, right? Well, I just gained 5 energy from a health orb because of my passive. You're welcome. Come on, you can do it. Come on. I know, it looks like I'm teleporting around because I'm at 20 times speed compared to you. Oh, where are we going? This is not the time to start doing the, I don't even know what dance. What was that dance again? Slide to the left, slide to the right, crisscross. Let's go to work. I genuinely don't remember the name of the song, but by God, was that all the rage in the late 90s? Late 90s, early thousands, somewhere around the turn of millennium. Cha-cha slide, there we go. Yes, yes, yes. Have they even tried to attack me yet? I might actually have her stun locked in just trying to dodge constantly because I'm aiming at her. And yeah, like you say, Marcios, it's just coming off cooldown, isn't it? I'm still at 275 energy because we moved towards the orbs. This is peak Equinox right here. At any point, I could just press 4 and be done with this enemy. I have 8 million damage stored up. I am very thankful that the audio is not 20 times slower. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah! Look at them go! Oh, wait, no, what? We've changed our mind. That's a neat trick, honestly. If you ever struggle with hitting them, it feels like they are just jumping around all over the place. Yeah, we have proof there. 20 times slower. Still managed to just flip back on the spot. That's some Apex Legends kind of movement right there. And we're sliding again. Alright, I'm good. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And sneeze.
That's the last of them. Time to go home.
It's so rude. That's so unbelievably rude to them all. Sneeze. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So yeah, Equinox may not be the most coherent or well-designed frame for 2026. Maybe even 2015, but she could certainly do some silly stuff with a little bit of support from a frame that demonstrated you can have two modded forms on the same frame. Someone going to attack me? Oh, hi there. Ah, I'm burning. I'm alive. You are not. So yeah, where'd I get the overguard from?
You conquer the foe, so you conquer yourself.
Might be my secondary? Nope. Might be my Arbacep? Yes, Arbacep. There it is. So yeah, I dealt damage with a secondary. At some point, somehow, somewhen. Apparently. And that counted for that. Yeah. Reb says she's going to play a month of Equinox. Well, I'm about to have a guide for her. So yeah, bullet time. It is mostly Gloom, but also a little bit of Maim. And Provoke is very helpfully getting us just over the strength threshold. Provoke is quite literally just being another mod slot again. This is 45%, this is 44%, this is basically Umbral Intensify the ability right now. It's honestly kind of sad. But hey, I'm using Equinox as intended. You can't be mad at me for that. And so, finally, last of these silly little setups, we have Gigatank. Gigatank asked the question, what if you just want Equinox to help keep everyone alive? The answer is, why are you doing that? Go ahead and play Revenant with Mesmer Shield. But, you know, if you don't want to do that, or play any of the other frames that can defend your entire team, like with Stynax, or Frost, or Dante, or literally any others, if you want to go ahead and use a tank Equinox, then we have this, which is designed to be in night form the entire time. We have the ability to put enemies to sleep again, so that's just great already. But for those enemies that we haven't put to sleep but still need dealing with, we have Pacify and we have Mend. Now, you'll notice here that the stats on Pacify probably don't look too amazing. There's a lot of kind of just random looking stats, but we have Molt Vigor. Molt Vigor doing the entire work of Provoke here. But instead it's an arcane. We cast one operator ability. Anyone, doesn't matter which one, I honestly don't care. You cast one operator ability, and then you cast Pacify. And you just leave it on. Congratulations, you got 45% extra strength. This 170 actually becomes, what's that, 215? And so, with that 215, we max out the potential slow on this, and because we're sitting in night form, we're not going to lose that slow once it's charged up. So you get up to 80% slow, we get up to, I think it's like 76% damage reduction, we still have access to rest, and we also have all of the mend magic that's happening too. Again, with maximum efficiency. And again with corrosive projection, because why not? If we combine all of that together, let's get the exact damage reduction value here. So Damage multiplier at base is 0.5. We're going to hit 215 strength. So it's 0.5 divided by 2.15. That is 23.2558% damage being dealt. So if we go all of our shields, 1036, divided by the remaining damage we'll be taking, divided by 10% because that's all the damage left from adaptation, and divided by 2 because shields have an innate 50% damage reduction on top of all that. I think I did this wrong. I was supposed to multiply by 2. Whoopsies. 1 second. Multiply by 2 because we're halving the damage taken. Yeah. We come out to 89,096 effective shield hit points. It does still have the aggressive fall off because yeah, I am talking about maximum values here. We've also got the slowing effect. And if you account for the slowing effect at full spool as well of 80%, making enemies 5 times slower than normal, then the time it takes them to fire into that 89,000 effective shield hit points functionally is more like we had about, what, 450,000? Yeah, somewhere in that ballpark. 445,000. Suffice to say, that is bloody tanky. It's not the tankiest, it's not Revenant, it's not Dante, it's not Stydax, etc. But if you do really want to just keep your friends alive, bring an Equinox where they go, where's the MAME and why am I still okay? Then this is the Equinox for you. And I think I have a simple way to test how effective this is at doing that. I think I have a really simple way of testing it. I'm gonna switch on over to Vazarin just in case I need to do a little bit more work to keep people alive, you know. It happens. I'm gonna head on over to Deimos. We're gonna go to the Sanctum Anatomica, and let's see if I can't stop someone from dying today. We are going to play the passive Aura Medic. So let's switch this to public. So we can just grab any 3 random people. Hopefully they're not too good at the game. That's boring to watch otherwise. Let's find out. Can I keep a bunch of random people alive? Granted, I'm bringing strong weapons as well, but can I keep a bunch of random people alive throughout this? What do we got? We got a Rhino, Trinity, Wisp. Look, I'm not going to sit you through 3 missions of some of the best survival frames in the game. What the hell was that RNG? I'm sorry, no. 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 What was that? I hope someone else can join into the randomly. I'm going to give them a moment to just definitely clear away from that squad. Oh god. I'm also looking at my frames here. It's offering Rhino and Wisp as 2 of them for me. And Uriel also has a self-heal. Oh dear. That was honestly about the worst composition I could have seen for what I'm trying to showcase. That was bad. The only positive I could draw from that is, hey, at least I can effectively give Rhino more damage reduction on his infinitely regenerating overguard. Way. Good lord above. Okay, let's cross our fingers. If this goes wrong again, I'm just gonna...
You in the mood for a little...
No. We'll be fine. You watch, it's gonna be like 2 Excaliburs and a... I don't even know. That's a Mirage? Okay, that's kind of good. Mirage likes to sit on Light Eclipse. Yeah, look at that. That's a strength focus Mirage if I ever saw one. Alright, let's start activating all of the options. There we go, cool. That's the gameplay of Tank Equinox. Just going to sit down a moment because we're waiting for other people to join. I can see what they're doing and I'm here for it. And yes, I have sit down and wait on a keybind. Who have we had join us? A Clevo! Hey, I can help restore the health and give some damage reduction to that Overguard. That can work out. Very, very much so. Let me just recast these with that strength bonus from that. It's good because I didn't actually utilize the operator strength bonus. And we've got a Urani. Urani is a pretty tanky Warframe, so they probably don't need me doing anything. But I am here nonetheless. We are able to provide the resistances that everyone needs, and we've got myopic munitions. I knew that. It's still frustrating to see, but I knew it. Yeah, here we go. Everyone is going to tank, tank, tank. No one can go down. Well, no one can actually die, is what I meant. You know. We're going to tank like there's no tomorrow. Even if our DPS might be a little bit shite. There we are. Yeah, I have absolutely no good damage stacks at the moment because I've not been shooting. But this is the build. This is what it looks like to be Tank Equinox. You just exist in the general vicinity of people who would like to stay alive, and they stay alive. That's all you do. If you notice that someone is struggling to stay alive, press 4 before they die. Just give them all the hit points. I have 25 million charge and no energy transfer, so yeah, it's just healing. I did consider using an energy transfer setup. I did try that originally for this. The problem is that you then can't use Peaceful Provocation because it just turns off. You just lose it. That's no good. So yeah, not amazing. But we got tank. Panzer, who is Panzer? Where is Panzer? Panzer is this way. Panzer is struggling. I will give Panzer support. Do not worry, Panzer. I am with you. Your hit points are protected. There you go. Enjoy your overshields. I think we have exploding fragments on as well, don't we? Hold on. No, it was just some random ones. Okay. Oh yeah, we got that lovely shield regen going. Oh yes. Ow! And there went every single one of those shield hit points. Good thing I can immediately get new ones. I'm not actually sure what hit me there, but something hit me. Yeah, genuinely no idea what wiped out all of my shields in a single hit. I didn't appreciate it. This is an unfortunate downside of defenses that stack up from multiple hits, like adaptation, is if nothing stacks it up, you have no defense. My shield hit points as they currently stand against an Xmas unit, which is therefore protected against Pacify, is just 4.5k. It's just 4.5k, and that's nothing. You are running low on hit points. Let me come assist you. Gods, once again, I just lost a chunk of shields and I don't know where from. That's annoying. That is a Leech Eximus Necromech. That should be illegal. Yep, that should be illegal. Especially as the aura has no startup. The effect. Oh gods! Oh gods! Oh gods! Okay, I activated my 4 there because I had no hit points and I was being constantly bombarded with damage. Let's get rid of these threats. These hollow veins are horrible. Oh, it's full healed again. I can't reach the weak spot. Hold on. There we are. Got it to turn. Nope. Wait. Okay, I'm not allowed to shoot the weak spot. Someone else do it. I literally cannot reach the weak spot because it seems to be slowed, but also able to turn on a knife edge. There we are. I will pick that person up in a moment. They'll be fine. I've got time. There we go. Okay. Woo! Ow. If only there was a frame that could deal big bursts of damage. Yeah. It's a shame that this is a tank Equinox and not a main Equinox. My entire job is to try and keep people alive, and the Mirage should do all of the damage. Because Mirage is better at dealing lots of damage than Equinox is. Also, I don't even want to think about how much charge is necessary to one-shot a Eximus Necromech in EDA. Does anyone know if that's even possible? Or they just go, nope, you must... You run into too much damage attenuation or some BS. Don't fall, I don't want to lose my abilities. It is possible, says Miropa. Alright then. Oh, someone's off finding Vokers. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just trying to stick with people, help them stay alive. You know what, let's summon one of these. How bad could it be? Oh, it's an Arctic. We can handle an Arctic. That's nothing. Anyway. Just need to convince it to show me its back. There we go. And this should get some damage into it. Oh, hello. Okay, we're over here now. Sleep, go to 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 sleep. Let's get out of here. So far, I'd like to say this is demonstrating at least some level of effectiveness, because we're surviving. Even if the shield hit points do run out, one single kill, and the shield hit points, at least some of them, come back. And that is basically where all of our tank is. Does it work against Toxin? Absolutely not. So, my advice for that is, don't go anywhere there's Toxin damage. That is my entire advice. There we go. Oh wait. Fuck. Wrong ones. Needed to switch form. There we go. Tank acquired. Ah, there's those rupturing fragments. Let's put some stuff to sleep. Yeah, so we got rupturing fragments on this mission. So that's going to be a little bit more dangerous for everyone. Those things deal so much damage. It's actually unreal. God, there's so many Eximus as well. The problem with so many Xmas is Xmas also ignore so many of the features that Equinox has defensively. Because Pacify, no effect. I picked it up! Well, there goes my cannon. Yeah, Pacify doesn't work. The Peaceful Provocation doesn't work. Sleep from Rest doesn't work. So lots of Xmas, lots of Overguard. Just turns off basically everything Equinox has defensively, but a few hit points. But that's not fun. And there's no counter to it either. Like, you can't just decide the Overguard isn't a problem. It is. You can't get around it. They are. At the very least, we've got plenty of tank. Sesros has no idea why their Overguard is living as long as it is. They don't need to know. If they don't know that it's coming from Equinox, just let them feel like their Overguard is amazing. As soon as a Rupturing Fragment hits them, it'll be gone anyway. Because those things do a lot. Can I tank this? Oh, it ran out. So, technically, yes. More Toxin. These guys are good at picking up the amphors. I'm actually finding a lot of them are gone before I get to them. Where is that one? It's down here? Here it is. Gotten to the point, teams are largely paying attention on alchemy objectives. It's good to see. And let's grab these. Bam! Beautiful. From Desco, they're saying, wish the operator was even stronger against Overguard than they are. Yeah. It's 50% extra damage. 50%. The problem with percentage-based damage multipliers is that doesn't work if the base value you're working from is just so much lower. And largely it is. Just how it's designed. So, yeah, not great. Okay, live wraps up your damage. I know it does. That's what I was trying to see. Let's see. Okay. Okay, what? That's cheating! Something took away all of my hit points whilst I was trying to demonstrate my tanking. That's cheating. I wanted to see if I could tank the beam, not a slash to the face. Oh well. Yeah, turns out, hit point tanks, great again until they're not. You've had no issues with Overguard? I mean, okay. Good to know. Plenty of people have, and complaints are not coming from nowhere. The only way I can really put that, Mizu. Congrats on not having an issue with it, but others definitely do. Any chance the build will be posted on YouTube? Yes, 100% chance. Oh, someone's going down. They are... Why are they all the way over here? Someone wasn't paying attention at the keyboard. I'll save you. God, it's really having to... Why were you all the way over here? Frickin' hell. Alright. Once again playing the mission. Whew. All hail the instant Vazrin revives, eh? Oop, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, that's what happens when they're no longer next to the tank Equinox. They feel like they could tank, and then they can't, and they die. I think that honestly proves just how well it was working, right? They got so complacent, they didn't realize they needed to actively stay alive without me. Needed to full heal there. First of all, saying they have an issue with armor. They know it's just them that have an issue with it. What is your issue with armor? Just out of curiosity. I'm not saying there's no reason to be, I'm just wondering what the issue is. So I can continue the thought. You find it inconsistent, some enemies are immune to some source of armor stripping. Ah! So it's not so much an issue with armor, it's an issue with the consistency of the ability to defeat armor. That not all armor is fair and equal. There's Ross, how did you die? I am specifically giving you the ability to not die. Stop dying. You're making me look bad. See, more Godam falls around here. Yes, we need this one. Not that one. This one. Oh! I thought I saw an electric one here, but maybe I didn't. So some bosses can be immune to some types of armor stripping, but not others, which adds to the inconsistency. Acolytes can be armor stripped, but they are proc resistant, which makes it harder to use heat and corrosive procs. Heat and corrosive procs apply multiplicatively rather than additively, like with other sources of armor removal. I think corrosive projection is hard capped at 80%. I might be wrong on that, but I think I remember reading it is hard capped. But it's still additive with other stuff, so you could do like corrosive projections, 4 of them, and then a single base strength pillage, and it'll work. They are. Stage 2 tank is status immune, but you still get the triggers for having applied status. Well, that's fun. Yeah. Consistency! Oh, ow. That hurt. Those bloody rupturing fragments will absolutely just snipe you. Bane of health tanks, I tell you. So much damage. Alright, there we go. The team has survived another mission. My Tower on Strike hasn't quite charged, which is unfortunate. Good thing no one needed it this time. First time. I think we have one more mission to go. And I think it's mirror defense. Also, this extraction is a little bit of a doozy away, but alright. We'll get there eventually. You watch. Someone's found a thing to click that isn't extraction. Living their best lives. Just put everything I can to sleep over here, so it's not a problem. You'll see the slowing field in effect as well there. My slow is all the way up at the 80%, that's nice. Have I got some good Equinox demo footage? Oh, yes. Alright, so once again, swap forms, activate a thing to activate a buff, and then we activate a buff, and everyone feels good. Alright, we could definitely handle a Necromix right away, can't we? Yeah, I'm sure we can. Oh, am I reducing the damage this takes from itself? No, I'm not. Okay, fun fact. So, the damage over time that applies, because of one of the modifiers, it is not reduced by Equinox's ability. So instead, I am going to put in even more tank. There we go. Oops, so that was the idea of this. That's cool. No, why? There we go. Yeah, when you've got the 100 hit point per second drain on this EDA mission, always put down a Protector Spectre, the 90% damage reduction. It shrinks that down to 10 HP per second. It's just so much better. Oh, this is fun. Free abilities for everyone! Look how fast that cast is. Also, look how much overguard there is. Everything's got overguard. My abilities reducing damage don't work if they have overguard. How am I supposed to help the team if the game tells me no? For those of you who feel that overguard is not a problem, this is where it's a problem. It doesn't matter that I can kill them. It matters that the ones I'm not actively shooting are also just immune to my abilities. And that's just no good. Alright, let's do the thing. There we go. That's a bunch of time taken off. Team are welcome. Oh, I could hear the Uradi for a moment, the Merolina. You're sure if I've guys it's a big old chunk of enemy health, which some multiplayers don't apply to? Yeah. Fun fact, the hit point charge on Mend and Main does not account for overguard. So if that's a big chunk of the hit points, you just don't get that translated over to it. Just doesn't apply. This isn't losing hit points at the moment. Interesting. I don't know why that is. Oh, there we go. Now it's losing hit points. And that doesn't help it. I tried. Oh shoot, okay, that did more damage than I thought it was going to. There we are. Take him out, take him out, take him out. I have no stat buffs at the moment. Oh, my shields ran out and came back there. This is why we have a companion. Honestly, the Guardian mod on companions is basically an extra life. Not a rogue. There we go, let's kill you and then summon our own Necromech anyway. Such a jank bit, but we take those. No! I missed. How did I miss? There we are. There, good enough. Knock, knock, knock. Here comes the rock. I don't know, someone can go there. That is a focus orb I have not been focusing on. I don't have anywhere close to a tower on charge, so no Vaz revives if people need them. Yeah. Overall, it looks like we are doing a good job of keeping the damage off here. We've got a good team. They are doing plenty of good work. And, yeah. The Oracle is doing its best impression of a thing that is actually surviving. Even when enemies get close to it. I am putting out a lot of features together to try and reduce the amount of damage being applied. Not all of them work because overguard. And that is still frustrating. My tank Equinox literally doesn't qualify for 95% of this mission. It's just needless design decision. But it's what we got to deal with. Switch. Switch. Thank you. Don't know why that key was not responding, but there we are. Activate that to once again benefit the team on having it speed up. There it goes. You've got that side, I'll go to this side. I can rescue this. I cannot rescue that. They got him for me. It's fine. I messed up my movement on that one. That's all on me. Someone's down? Uh-oh. I can fix this. How are you down? I'm giving you so... Oh yeah. Overguard. Overguard prevents my damage reduction being applied to enemies. Sleep also has no effect, so yeah. All I'm giving out really is a little bit of slowing on the armor overguard removed ones, and a token bit of shield regen on kills. It's not token, it is actually a pretty substantial amount, but still. Oh my god, this thing is nearly dead. Where the fuck did those hit points go? I blinked. I blinked and it was nearly just obliterated. Oh boy. Yeah, that was scary. That was scary. Yeah, you have to be watching the UI on this. There's no, like, warning that that's happened. It just... one moment it's healthy and next moment it's not. Honestly, I actually also dislike that the Protector Spectre is so important to this. Because if we didn't have that, this mission would just be a complete wipe. Most of the time it would be a complete wipe. And there's every possibility that those in the squad didn't even notice that happened. Like, they probably saw the health towards the end, if they were just looking at it and went, oh wow, that got a bit low, but we survived. No idea that there was a Protector Xmas the entire time. A Protector Spectre. Because it is all very invisible, and I don't like how required it is. Yeah, Centaur, the sudden jump to mission complete, but it's not like perfectly sudden, it suddenly takes away the UI, takes a moment, and then goes, mission complete. You know, that moment in between, you're thinking, oh god, did it go wrong? Did it go wrong? No, it's fine. Drink. 10k credits? I know, right? All of the reward. So yeah, Tank Equinox. I call it Giga Tank. It's not really Giga Tank. I'll be quite honest with you. It's not really that amazing, and that I think is a brilliant demonstration as to how effectively ineffective it can be. On paper, all of the benefits are there. We can get the slowing effect. We're buffing it up with more vigor. We can put enemies to sleep. We've got the damage reduction, we've got the healing of multiple different forms of healing. All of it is there and should be functioning. But is it though? When you consider this is a full investment into survival, and even then, I don't know how much adaptation was realistically contributed. The number of times I saw my shields just flat out hit 0. I certainly know the value of having Guardian. Now, Salvatore, cheers. Alright, I'm gonna pop away just BRB in one moment, and then we'll do a last little bit of fiddling and messing around with Equinox here. So don't you get anywhere, I'll be right back. What? I'm sorry, I come back and I just see a giant golden drone on the chat feed there. Cheers, Barry, for the 30 bits behind that, but also, what? I did not expect to come back and see that. Did the mission fail? Nope, we survived. The mission did not fail. We were successful. Mission complete. It just jump scares you, that's all. Yeah, so, chat, this is where you get your last opportunity to weigh in on the build details here. We've gone through 6 builds. We have a gated transfer, which is indeed to sit on night form, use your rest, use your mend, ignore that this ability exists, and once you're charged up, switch over and blow up. We have Shadow Maim to similarly charge up, switch up, blow up, but this time we are hard camping on Evade, and you can camp on Evade in day or night form, but night is more protective. Somnicide to just put everything to sleep and then stab it in the face. Nuclear Paladin to annihilate the Corpus. Other factions, mileage will vary. Bullet Time, because watching an enemy slowly breakdance is apparently hilarious. Also, you could just murder everything. They're slow, they can't do anything to you. And finally, Gigatank. I did everything I could to make it tanky. Everything I could, and it didn't. That's the honest truth here. So, yeah, those are the options that I have managed to put together for you. 6 different builds for Equinox. They all fit on the same modding polarities. No crazy shenanigans happening there. How many formats have I put into her? Hold on. 2 former. 2 former! Honestly, I think that's pretty damn good going to get 6 different builds of such a variety on such an awkward frame for just 2 former. I think that's going pretty well, don't you? I think that's gone pretty well. So what's everyone's favourite then? Which of these builds do you find the most interest in? Which one stands out as the build that you would want to try first on Equinox for yourself? Would it be the Gated Transfer, Shadow Maim, Somnicide, Nuclear Paladin, Bullet Time, or Giga Tank? You don't have to lie to me and say Giga Tank. No. Really, Edus? Really? You want to use the Giga Tank? Did you see what happened with Giga Tank? Christopher 2? Oh my god, alright. Fair enough. I must be missing something. Then I'm the one who made the build, but alright. Happened to the allies, not me. I mean, yeah, Equinox did survive there. A large part of that is I had proper guns, because I wasn't taking whatever guns they were telling me to take, and I had a companion with the Guardian. I'll be honest, that was a very big part of Giga Tank tanking. It's not that great, unfortunately. But hey, it has an effect. Also, Vazarin is great for helping get your teammates up. So, if you want to be the tanky medic, bring Vazarin. That Overguard on the last mission, though, that was rude. Overguard turns off so much of this kit, it's unfair. Shadow Maim seem fun? That is a nice one to use. It's just this sneaky nuclear bomb running around the map. That is a fun one to use. I don't like that energy transfer feels quite so necessary, but at least I've managed to fit it in there. Because without it, ooh, you lose a lot of the Equinox identity. Not great. Oh. Oh, hello there. You having fun? That's... If all else fails, I've found my Equinox screenshot. If all else fails, I can just use that one. That honestly, not the worst. There we go. Jobs again. I think that might be just the right amount of creepy. You see that pop up on your TV, like, uh-oh. Ma'am! Ma'am! The man in the wall's upgraded to man in the TV! So yeah, that's a fun one. Christopher saying, abuse the amount of Xmas you get there, just get an art gun with Fortifier and Dispensary, refilling Overguard. Well, here's the thing, is that I had an art gun with Fortifier on it, ready to go, but it's not what we're intending to do there. My issue was not so much the Xmas, although there were plenty of those, it was actually the number of normal enemies. Normal enemies with Overguard, because it had Bolster Belligerence, I think is the name of it. Everything spawned with Overguard. It's just like... Okay. Cool, that turns off half my kit. Considering that's the defensive half, that's... yeah, that's bad. Everyone chat got a TLDR on the stream today? Hey chat, put a 1 in the chat if you think Calamity should get an explanation. Put a 2 in the chat if you think Calamity should be timed out for such an obnoxious request. Nearly 3 hours into stream. 1's to tell them, 2's to time them out. Let's see, Calamity. Does the community like you? It's not looking good for you. Some people want to go to level 3. Oh gods. I don't even know what level 3 would be in this case. Banished to Wally. 3, force him to play Equinox. Wow. Apparently worse than being timed out in the chat is just go play Equinox. What is TLDR? Too long, didn't read. Which is kind of a misnomer to the context here of too late, didn't receive the feed of the stream. Yeah. Basically, they're asking for a summary because they don't want to go through the replay and they don't want to just catch up on what we're doing. Suffice to say, Calamity, we've now found out that plenty of the community here want to see harm brought upon you, but worry ye not, there will be a full Equinox guide, hopefully by the end of Friday, that you can look forward to there. Yes. But also Calamity Plus. And I can have a go at you for this, because there you are, rocking your gifter badge or your subscriber badge. You know how it works here. Tuning into a live stream. Hi, I missed the entire stream. What happened? Also, don't mind this. I'm definitely not doing some weird tech. Nothing's happening there. Don't worry about it. Nothing unusual going on. No weirdiness. Don't even think about it. Stream's not even live right now. You're imagining it. Okay. Nothing at all to concern yourself with. Okay, cool. There we are. So, no, Ellie, take finger off the trigger. It's fine. We're not sending Calamity to the Shadow Realm today. Instead, they're going to be so nice and gift a sub or something. You'll be fine. It's up to you. I don't care. I'm not going to force a sub out of you just because you said a thing I don't like. That's not how that works. Yeah, also, we don't want to give Ellie too many reasons to start timing people out. Ellie will empty the chat given the opportunity. Not sure what it is. As soon as you get the ability to time people out, the urge, the yearning desire to just... Boop! Oops, you're gone. Boop! Oops, you're gone. Yeah. The punishment is, from Snorpy here, Calamity has to like, comment, and share the guide video when it drops. There you are, Calamity. Not sure where you have to share the guide. You'll find somewhere, I'm sure. Maybe it'll be your family WhatsApp group message if you have one, or see if you don't get downvoted into oblivion on Reddit. Who's to say? Right, so out of all of these, which do I want to use to wrap this up? Well, I mean, it's going to be the Nuclear Paladin. I'm going to be quite honest with you. It's the Nuclear Paladin coming out again. And let's open up these. Let's find the nicest corpus one we have. Is that all we have? What is Gulla for Phobos? I don't think that's a good map. No. 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 No, thank you. No. Nope. Nah. Capture, exterminate. They kind of run out fast, but why not? Nuclear Paladin on speed. Oh, thanks, Calamity. Alright, let's go. Friendship door before we've even seen one enemy. Love it. And nuked. Relic cracked. Sadly, I did not get a range buff this time. Relic crack, nuke. Just like that. You will not get that in a defense mission. Oh, okay. We're going over there, are we? I'm invisible. Ah! I don't want to see that. That is not safe for Ken. There we go. Yeah! I hate nullifiers so much. They're such a horrible threat. Ow! Why did that get me?
The enemy is broken.
And we're good. How have I done for the kills? 84 kills. Yeah, I think I helped. 87 kills. I helped. 96 kills. Huzzah. Yeah, it works here. Oh. Fair enough then. Yep, someone's ready for the update. Varuna stands up, I sit down. Yep, that's well timed. Who? What are we waiting on? Oh, it's the rookie. I didn't notice we had a rookie. Hey, gold item! Would you look at that? Pokemon egg, yeah? No, rookie, no, rookie.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
They really needed that piece. They... Maybe they know something we don't. I think it was a Rhino piece. Let me see. Rhino, Prime... Which one was it? It was probably the, yeah, I think it was the Systems average value 9 to 10 plat. And the Axamati Prime Link. $40. Oh, no. Oh. Rookie's gonna rookie. Rookie with a Dante, but rookie's gonna rookie. Oh. Oh. Oh yeah, Dante was given out for free. That's why. Yeah. I know Dante for Darwin, but to have Dante pretty damn quickly. But yeah, of course, there's going to be a lot more Dantes going around. Makes sense. Yeah, I was surprised to get out of value on that bronze item because it's a Rhino piece. It's not in normal rotation, so yeah, that adds to the value. But Axamati Prime Link, and that was an intact relic. That was a 2% drop chance. Oh boy. Dan's not going to like this? Why wouldn't Dan like that? I mean, Dan wouldn't use the free drop because that's against the spirit of the Dan challenge, but Dan's happy that everyone else gets to enjoy Dante because what is Dan's name? What is Dan's full name there, Salvatore? I'm not going to switch. I want to nuke a different one. Let's try this on a Grenadier one. Low level Grenadier, but on a Grenadier one. Let's have a look. We go... Oh, it's another exterminate. That is, in fact, not Dan's name. Calamity. It is not Danny Boy Primeless, no. It's Dan Tayford Arwen. Dan Tayford Arwen. Alright, activate. Need to get in range of things I can hurt. Nullifiers, please cease. Relic is cracked. Secondaries again. You suck. What the? Goddamn Eximus unit. Why? I'm not doing my damage here. Why am I not doing my... Okay. It resisted. For a moment. Oh, it's corrupted! I forgot. Corrupted resist radiation damage. Ah! Why is the world like this? Why does radiation need something it is weak against? The poor damage type. It's already dead in the dirt. None of us want to acknowledge the mission's trying to take us back there. Haha, I figured it out. Yeah, faction elemental resistance. Ruining the one-shot. Again. No. 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 Just no. 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 Oh, it did get me. God damn it.
The enemy is broken. Well done. Now get to extraction.
Who will? Yeah, so, nullifiers and radiation resistance. Not immunity, but resistance. It was destined to go wrong. Look at that. That's... Oh, I pressed the button. Was he not pressing it? Okay. Ow. I took a bunch of damage there. Yep. Alright, so, that's another point against the nuclear paladin build. It's not good against the infested if you come against ancients, and it's not good against scuzzies. It's not good against the corrupted, and armor is a problem for it. I got a few issues with the setup, but technically it works. Yeah?
Mission complete.
Equinox needs
Excellent
help.
work, Tenno.
The good news is that if you're in a squad, other people are going to be killing things, and that also charges maim, so if someone else gets the kill instead of you, the damage happened, you can still snap your fingers, and there it goes. So it's not like it doesn't work at all, just the efficiency drops a lot. At that point, you might as well bring a different build. One with a little bit more survivability in it in some way, some shape or form. To be honest, I'd say go for bullet time. If you're going into a Fisher, bullet time will do the better job there, because you've still got access to maim without having to worry about things actually shooting you, because Gloom go burr. As I'll say, I don't want to insist too much on Terrify, but well, if we want to try a different nuke setup, Zom, what is Terrify going to do for us? Bearing in mind that Terrify doesn't deal damage and has taken your subsume slots, so now you need to deal damage some other way. Whereas the Nuclear Paladin was one-shotting whilst under cloak. So what does Terrify do that makes it work in a way that isn't covered by one of these other builds? Alright. Outside of that, that is about time that we do us a platinum giveaway. Let's get that loaded up onto here. I know for some of you this is your favorite bit of the stream. Let's get that loaded up for 175 plat giveaway, courtesy of Digital Extremes. Very generous of them to provide that. Let's open that up to the chat here. Exclamation mark enter in the chat for a chance to win yourself some 75 plat. All you need to do is type exclamation mark enter and you'll slide on in onto the screen here. No D20s needed, but congrats on the 15, I guess. Yep, exclamation mark enter. You got 1.5 minutes left to join in for a chance to win that 75 plat. Everyone's got an equal chance of winning, so it doesn't matter if this is your first time here or if you've been here for years and years and years. It did take someone something like 4 years to win one of these giveaways. They became a moderator in that time. Still wasn't winning for ages. So, it'd be random. Other times, people win on their very first message. It is completely random. So, exclamation mark, enter in the chat for a chance to win their 75 plat. And with this as well, if you do enjoy the streams, if you enjoy the videos, and you'd like to see more of it, consider hitting that subscribe button. It means the adverts go away, and it means you support me in continuing to bring all of this to you. You get the emotes, you get the access to Supporter Tea Lounge over on the Discord, all of that good stuff, in a simple little sub-package. Yeah, if it's fun and entertaining, of course. So I'm not sure if I responded, because they got hit by an ad. Zom, the idea was, what's your idea? You're saying you don't want to insist, but let's skip over that because you said it anyway. Why Terrify? What makes Terrify the answer to a nuke setup? Alright, last 10 seconds to enter. Exclamation mark enter into the chat. If you missed the timer, you missed the timer. Simple as that. If you're on a 2-minute watching delay, something's gone wrong, so... And here we go, let's do the draw. Who is it going to be today? Only one of you is going to walk away with the platinum. It's not going to be those of you at the frontier. Jellyfish, for example, is completely taken out. Ellie, no chance this time. A-Gear, not yours either. No, sorry. There goes Zom. There goes Cat Centaur. Our winner is Moon of the ALM variety.
Excellent work, Tenno. The extraction point is up ahead.
Moon, congratulations. You are our winner today of the Platinum giveaway. It looks like we already have your details on a record, so there's nothing more you need to do. That'll be in your inbox within the next couple of weeks when the next match is due to go through. So you can look forward to that. Spend it absolutely ridiculously. I think by the time that comes through, we should be on the new update, so, you know, have at ye. But with that, chat, that is where we're going to wrap it up here today. Unless someone's had their messages to... What for? Nope, so we'll have to get to that later, Tom. We'll have to get to that later. It's just a little too late on the stream for now. But that is all we got time for. I will be live again on Friday. I have to hash out the details on that. We may be having a collaborative stream again. But I'm going to put hard emphasis on the maybe because, you know, we need to hash out the details, make sure everyone is good on that. But anyway, I will see you again on Friday for some more shenanigans. We'll always have some kind of shenanigans, you know that. And I will be working on the Equinox video in the meantime. Catch you then. Bye-bye.